Hey, guys, check this out. See this light right here? Watch. Isn't that awesome? But that's not what we're here. That's not what we're here to talk about right now. We'll get back to that. What we are here to talk about, though, is what is in my camera bag, 2020 style. So let's get into it. There's a lot of stuff. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jamil. This is a boy named Jamil. Here, I like to talk about how I use gear as a photographer and as a cinematographer. I don't do reviews. I am not skilled enough in that area to give proper reviews. If you are looking for a great review channel, Gerald Undone is a great channel. It's actually a channel that I watch a lot. So if that is what you're looking for, I will link his channel up here or down in the comments. Also, I want to say that I am not going to leave links to any of the things that I talk about in this video in the description because, well, frankly, I don't want to, and I don't get any kickbacks because my channel is too small. So, but I will list all of the things down there. And so if you want to go onto Amazon, which is where I bought most of this stuff, you can go onto Amazon and find those things. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So my new bag, and I say new because I did a what's in my camera bag before. And if you want to watch that video, I will link that video in the description so you can go and see that video, see all of the stuff I used to have, and see all of the things that I have upgraded to. So my new camera bag is the Lowepro Protatic 450 AW version 2. It's the 45-liter one. It is a big bag, as you can see. This is my old bag. This is my old Lowepro bag, and as you can see, it's really small. I had to upgrade for two reasons. One is because I am 6'4.5", and this little bag looked like a little tiny knapsack when I had it on my back. It was very uncomfortable. And the second reason is because I outgrew it. There just wasn't enough space in that bag. And yeah, so I got a new bag. I did a lot of research for bags. Some bags that I looked at was obviously the everyday backpack. That's a very common bag. I looked at the Peter McKinnon bag, but that's a little, not a little, way out of my price point. And another bag that I looked at was the Wanderer Pike, I think is what the name of it is. But I settled on this bag because for two reasons. The first reason is because I like to try to shop local, and my local camera store, Dodd Camera, would match the price of it, would match the price that this bag was on B&H. So that was an easy decision. And then the second decision is I settled on it because I really like the way it looks. I really like the tactical kind of feel of it. I really like how rugged it looks. And like I said, I am really tall, and this just fit perfectly. It's good on the shoulders. It just feels good. It feels good. And so that's why I settled on it. And so some of the things that I like about this bag, I don't know, I really like that because what it allows you to do is it allows you to one, clip things in as you need it. And so when I needed to clip these hooks on, I could just clip it to the front of the bag. And so these things are all around the bag. So it makes clipping things to the front of the bag really easy. And so kind of the things that you can clip to it, I've got this little tripod pouch clipped to it. I've got these clips clipped to it. I will show you in a minute why these are here. Another thing that I keep on the bag are these little kind of hook things that you can see here. I put my keys here sometimes, and if I need to, I can take these off of here and clip it onto one of these clippy things here if I needed to clip something to the front of the bag. Let's talk about the bag a little bit more. And so another thing that I like is that I can open this bag from the side And from the side here, when I open it, I can access my camera right there without ever having to put my bag on the ground, because though it is a really rugged bag, I have to say I like the way it looks, and I want it to look this way for as long as possible. So I don't want to put my bag down. Also, there's a lot of expensive gear in this bag, and so I don't want someone to be able to run up and grab it, and so the less I have to put it down on the ground, the better. I also like these two side pockets here. I also like that I can also open the bag from the top here, and I could, if I wanted to, have another camera that I could pull out of this top part. And as we get more into the bag, I will show you how that would work. So up here in the front of this pocket here, there is a zipper here that you can keep, you know, like a wallet. I have a battery in here that I was looking for just last night. Sometimes when I'm out and I'm taking pictures, I keep my wallet in here. Sometimes I will throw my keys in here, or anything else that I have that I'm just carrying around that I don't want in my pockets while I'm trying to get like low on the ground and take pictures and things like that. If you can see here in this little thing here, I have all of my SD cards. I'm not sure how many it can hold at this point, but I keep 3 of them in there at all times, so that works out. Before we get into the bag, I do want to say that my main camera is still the A7 III. Yeah, the A7 Mark III, and I love this camera. I love it so much. And I won't say, I'm not one of those guys who are gonna say that this camera is better than any other camera. It is, I've only ever used Sony cameras since I started photography, and so at this point, by the 3rd iteration of it, I know it. I know all of the menus, I know all of the buttons, I have it programmed exactly the way that I like. I don't need a flip out screen. I trust the focus on it, the autofocus on the A7 III, especially since the last upgrade, is amazing. I think compared to the other cameras, it's right up there. It's more than I need. I don't want to say it's more than I need. It's exactly what I need. I never find myself out of focus. I never have focus. I never have focusing issues when I am out shooting portraits and clients and doing work for stuff like that. As far as this camera goes, as far as everything that I need, this camera is everything that I need, and it's been amazing for me. So my main camera is the A7 III. I can't show it to you now because obviously I'm recording myself, and so yeah. All right, and so let's get into the back of this because I want to show you my backup camera. And I love that you can open this from the back. You'll hear this a lot from a lot of people. The ability to open this from the back means that people can't run up behind you and sneak into your bag and grab things out. So I love that I'm able to do this. So the second thing that I want to talk about is my backup camera. This is the Sony A7 Mark II, and I love it. This was my camera before I got my A3. This camera is old. I can't remember when it came out, but I do remember when I bought it. It was Black Friday sale, and it was, I don't want to say that it was cheap, but it was just an amazing sale, and I couldn't pass it up. It still takes an amazing image. It does take a little bit longer. It is a little bit longer to use because there is no joystick on the back, and it has one less custom button, but it is still just as customizable as the A7 III. It's still relatively new, and I think I have found a good working relationship between this camera and my A7 III. Whenever I need to record myself, I just load that camera up with all of the things that I need to record myself, and with this camera, I just usually throw my 85 on and then I go to work. So this is my backup camera, the A7 II, and I keep it handy at all times. All right, the next thing, my go-to focal length, my bread and butter. This lens is actually brand new to the bag. This is the Sony 85mm 1.4 G Master. This is an upgrade from my 85 1.8, which I love. This has been a great lens for me. It produces a great image. It's sharp. It's 1.8, so you're gonna get that creamy bokeh in the background. There is really only 2 reasons why I upgraded from this 1.8. One reason is the build on the lenses. I love this lens, but I've banged it, and sometimes I hold my camera. I'll show you how I hold my camera. So sometimes I hold my camera by the actual lens, and because I have really big hands and this is a small lens, I feel like, and there's no reason for me to feel this way, but just the build quality on this lens as opposed to this lens just gives me, a certain level of comfort that this is more rugged and this is gonna last. I'm gonna be able to beat this lens up for longer than I will be able to beat this lens up. So that's the first reason that I upgraded. The second reason that I upgraded this lens is because the second reason that I upgraded from the 1.8 to the 1.4 is because you hear sometimes people talk about lens character. There's no distinguishable better quality from this image to this image. But so upgrading from the 1.8 to the 1.4 is not something that you need to do, but I think once you start shooting long enough and you are able to recognize character between lenses, then you'll appreciate that I appreciate the character image between these two lenses. All right, so my second lens that I have in this bag that I also just upgraded to is the Sony 16 to 35 G Master 2.8. This lens is for videography, for cinematography, for all of the hopes and dreams that I have, for all of the videos that I want to make, for all of the movies that I want to make, for all of the things that I dream about doing. This lens is the lens that I dream about doing it with. I love the build quality on it. And this lens is an upgrade from this lens, which is the Tamron 17 to 28. And this is a great lens. There's nothing wrong with the image that this lens produces, but there's three major things about this lens, again, that made me want to upgrade. One is that this has a really plasticky feeling to it, and because of that, it does feel fragile. Again, I don't want to keep saying this, but I'm a big guy, 6'4", I have huge hands, and so when I hold this lens, it feels very fragile in my hand. And a lot of times I do hold my camera and my lens by the lens, and sometimes I must admit that I do feel like I'm gonna break it. The second reason that I upgraded to the 16 to 35, and these are kind of the same 2 reasons, but they still should be considered 2 separate reasons. One, the widest focal length that this lens goes to is 17 millimeters. And you may be thinking there's not a big deal between 17 and 16 millimeters, but there is. It's a huge difference. And so I really needed that focal length at 16 millimeters. Also, this only goes to 28 millimeters as far as the reach is only to 28 millimeters, and this one is to 35. And sometimes when I am shooting, and I want to shoot at 35 millimeters, when I want to shoot portraits at 35 millimeters, I don't own a 35 millimeter prime. And what I would do is the A7 III has an APS-C mode that you can get into, and you just lose some picture quality when you're shooting with 24 megapixels. I think once you go into APS-C mode, you're only working with like 10 or 11 megapixels. And so, and plus when you go into APS-C mode, you're no longer at 2.8. And I don't know what the difference is once you do that. But So you lose reach on both ends. You lose that 16 millimeter on one end, and you lose that 35 millimeter on the other end. So that is why I upgraded from this lens. This is a great lens. The picture on it is amazing. It's sharp, but it's just lacking. And I think that's the best word for it. It is just lacking. So I did upgrade to the 16 to 35, and this is going to be my workhorse as far as, this is going to be my workhorse as far as video goes, and when I am shooting portraits and I need 35 millimeters, this is going to be the new guy. And also, with both of these lenses, with the 85 and with this 16 to 35, G Masters just have a sharpness to them that I think is sometimes understated when people compare other lenses to it, because, I don't know, it's easy to say like a $2,000 lens isn't worth it, but there's a reason that this lens is $2,000. There's a reason that it was very hard to find a used copy of this lens. This is actually a demo unit, and that tells you how hard it is to buy it. And so I am looking forward to all of the things that I am going to be able to create with this lens. All right, moving on to my last lens, and this is actually new to my camera bag. This is the 24-70 2.8 G Master. And let me tell you about 24-70 G Master. This lens is a photographer's dream. If you can go on a shoot with one lens and just have all of the focal length I think that you need, 24-70 is going to do it for you. And this is just an amazing lens. I love the way it's built. I love the way it feels. I love the sharpness of it. I have rented this lens a number of times, and I have fallen in love with it every single time that I have owned it. I thought about buying the Tamron lens, but again, I would run into the same problems that I ran into with the 17 and 28, because the Tamron lens is 24-75. You lose those 4 millimeters on the front end, and the versatility of this lens of a 24-70 is just unmatched. Not this G Master specifically, but a 24-70. I believe what you get out of this monitor is everything that you need. And so you get focus assist, you get zebras, you get false colors. And so all of those things that you need out in the field to create videos, you can accomplish with this this monitor. I can't show it to you right now because I'm using it right now to monitor myself as I record this video, but it comes with this little bracket to mount it on top of the camera. It also comes with this lens hood for sunny days. You can just put it on top of the monitor and block the sun. Yeah, so I keep it in this pouch. I keep this pouch right here in my camera bag. Boom. I also keep this separate pouch. This is a Rode pouch that actually came with this bag. And what I keep in here is all of the little things. This is a pouch for the next thing that I'm going to talk about. But I keep my battery charger for my A7 III batteries. This is just a newer battery charger that I bought off of Amazon because the A7 III doesn't come with a battery charger. So I bought this battery charger, and it also came with 2 newer batteries. And the newer batteries have been just as good as the regular Z battery. They haven't failed on me. I get just the same amount of battery time. So I've been very happy with this purchase. The second thing that I have in here is a RAV Power battery charger for my A7 II. These batteries are a little smaller, and so I have a lot of them. I have 4 of them. I have 2 here, and I have 2 in this battery grip. And so one of the biggest knocks on this camera is that the battery life is really short. And so if you buy the A7 II, get a lot of batteries. And then also in here, I have this little pouch that came with another light that I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes. But what I keep in this pouch is a wall charger. I keep that in there. And then in the top part of this pouch, I keep all of the USB cables that I might need. I keep them in here. they're Velcroed together. So I have two USB, I have two micro USBs. I have one I have one USB Type C cord, and then, I shouldn't say cord. I have one USB Type C cable, and then I also have a Type C to Type C cable that I keep in here. And so I think I am good to go on cables that I would need to charge batteries or lights or microphones or anything that I might need to get through a day of shooting. So I keep that in here, and then all of this stuff fits. The bag was trolling me right now. I keep all of that stuff in this bag here, and it all fits perfectly. And I like to keep it in there, and yeah. And then I keep that in my bag next to my backup camera. By the way, it's always good to have a backup camera. Like, some people would say, like, why do you need two full frame cameras in your bag together? Why would you carry them both at the same time? If I am out shooting and this camera fails, I want to be able to have the peace of mind that I can just go into my bag and pull out my other camera and be ready to go, especially if I'm getting paid for the job. I don't want to lose money because, you know, something goes wrong with this camera. I want to have the backup camera in the bag. All right, so next thing that's in my bag is, this doesn't have batteries, and I will tell you why that's important in a second. Actually, I'll tell you why it's important right now. You can see that I am using the Rode Wireless Go right now, and this is a great little microphone system. If you don't have like a lav mic, you can talk right into the transmitter, or you can plug a lav mic into the transmitter. The receiver just sits right up on top of the camera. There's a little clip that fits into the hot shoe. It's really small. You saw the pouch that it fits into. I'm very happy with this purpose. I actually filmed a wedding, and this little Rode system provided all of the sound for that wedding, and it's really, really good. All right, so the next thing I have in here is a charger for these Sony batteries, and so they just sit in there like this. Again, this is RAV Power. This is just a charger that I bought on Amazon. It came with two batteries, so I'm really happy with this purchase also. What else do I have in here? Up in these zippers, I keep a micro fiber cloth, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is a picture by the man, Peter McKinnon himself. I am not afraid to say that I am a Peter McKinnon fanboy. This is a Peter McKinnon 2 to 5 stop ND filter that I keep in the case. For right now, this is also new to my camera bag. This is also a upgrade from my last ND filter, and I'll tell you why. There's two reasons I upgraded to it, not just because it's Peter McKinnon's. So this is my old ND, and if you can see this, when you turn it, with this ND filter, there are hard stops on both ends. So you can turn it one way, it stops. If you turn it this way, it stops. That's amazing, because if you turn it too far, you get like this X. If you are recording video and you have used an ND filter before, you know about the X. You get this little X in your footage, and it's like a shadow X, and it's horrible. It just makes your footage unusable, and then you have to redo the entire thing that you just filmed, and that's so incredibly time consuming, because sometimes you forget about what you said, and sometimes people are still really shy to talk to their camera, much like I am. And if you can just get through the scene one time, and then, all right, you get it. You just want to get through the scene. In this pocket, I also keep a Samsung T5 SSD drive. This is 1 terabyte, so I can back up everything if I need to. So I can back up everything when I need to. It's 1 terabyte. What's also awesome about this is if I record some video footage and I dump it onto this card, I can actually edit that video footage from this card. I don't need to transfer it to my laptop. This is a Sony field light. This is a Sony LED video light. X21. This has been really good to me. It is, this has been in my bag for about a year and a half now. I like the diffusion thing on the front. I keep these two films underneath here. The biggest problem with this is that if you fully charged, you only get about 24 minutes of record time if you have it on 100%. And I think, and you need to have it on 100% to really get good lighting out of it. And so at 24 minutes, what has happened, I usually have it back here when I'm recording these videos. And if you look at 2 videos ago, you can see that this light goes out. You can see that this light goes out sometime in the video. And I had to make a choice of whether I wanted to go back and re-record that entire video or if I was just gonna upload it with one light out. If you watch the video, you'll figure out what I did, and that instantly made me want to upgrade this light. Still a good light. I still keep it in my camera bag because you never know when you're gonna need light. All right, so that's everything that is in this portion of the bag. There is also a laptop portion that I can put my laptop in here. I have a 15-inch, what is it called? I have a Xiaomi Notebook Pro. It edits 1080 video. I only record in 1080. One day I would like to have a laptop that records 4K, but I don't need it right now, so I don't have it right now. That is everything that is in this portion of the bag. Up here, I'm gonna zip this up. All right, so up here in this portion of the bag, I keep a number of things. I keep this little pouch. This little pouch is where I keep this light, and this light is the Aputure MC. It's an amazing little light. It's RGB, it is really bright. Fully charged, I can record. Fully charged, I can get 2 hours of record time. It works out great here, and I love it. It has magnets built into it. I'm gonna do a full review on it coming up soon, but a real review. And so I'm really happy with this. So happy that I have already bought a second one, and these are crazy back ordered. It took me 2 months from the time that I ordered this one to get it to my door, and I've just ordered a second one that isn't arriving until February 1st, and today is January 20th, and I ordered it on January 18th. So that lets you know how far back ordered it is. So I keep this in there. I keep a rocket blower because you never know when you are going to need to clean your lens. I think rocket blower is a brand name. This isn't the brand name one. This is just one that I got in a lens cleaning kit. I keep a clothespin because this light is not RGB. This is just a bicolor light, so I can get daylight or I can get tungsten. And so what I do is I keep blue kind of film like the ones that I showed you on the other light on top of this. And so sometime when I am out shooting, if I want to put the film onto that light, I'll use this to clip the film. That's a bad example. I'll use it to clip the film onto the light, and the clothespin holds the film to the light. So that's why I keep this in there. What else do I have in here? What else do I have in here? I also keep one of these clamps because you never know when you're gonna need to clamp something. These were like $2 at Home Depot. And then that's it for the camera bag. That's everything that I keep in my camera bag. Oh, there's one more thing. This is the Joby Gorrilapod 3K, and this is a handy little thing. If you watch enough YouTube videos, you have seen this a million times, so I don't have to spend too much time on this. It holds my camera, it holds my mic. When I am out filming myself, I just tilt it out. Oh, it's trolling me right now. When I am out filming myself, I can just hold it out in front of me, talk to the camera. It's great. So I talked earlier about what these little clips on the front of this bag is for. And so now I'll show you. And this is actually how I carry this tripod around because it doesn't fit inside. Coming up in the near future, I am going to be making some videos on all of the new lenses that I have. I am not going to be making reviews on them. I am just going to be making videos on why I think they are worth the price that they are still in 2019. I am going to be making a full review on this light here because I love it. I am going to be recording a short film, lots of videos coming up soon. And so if you want to get notifications on those videos, like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell if you want to. And so that is it. That is my camera bag for 2020. I am Jamil. This is a boy named Jamil. Thank you guys for coming. I will see you in the next video. Peace.